Also recently added to Netflix instant streaming, 1990s Total Recall. Paul Verhoeven directing, the legendary Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now this is a movie I've seen many times, though usually on TV, so the amount of cursing kind of threw me off. I mean, I do have it on DVD, but I just hadn't seen it on DVD in a while. So anyhow, as you know, this is a movie that was remade in 2012, I think it was. And the original has Arnold Schwarzenegger, his name's Douglas Quaid, his character, married to Sharon Stone, has dreams of, you know, this other gal on Mars, goes to recall, where he gets memory implants. He wanted to go on a vacation to Mars to kind of like get this dream to go away or whatever, I don't know exactly, but anyways, it triggers this event where they say, oh, we never implanted the memory. He had this secret agent vacation package, but we never gave it to him, and he seems to be acting it out. The guy running Mars, Cohagen, he's like, has people coming after him to kill him. As the movie progresses, Arnold makes his way to Mars. A whole bunch of violence ensues. He ends up shooting Sharon Stone, who, according to the way it's unfolding, lied about being his wife. I mean, I'm sure you guys all know all this stuff already, because it's a pretty popular movie. So he runs off with Melina, the girl he had the dreams about, who also happened to be on the monitor at the recall place as he was getting his memory implants. Defeats Richter, the guy Cohagen sent after him, played by Michael Ironside, chopping his arms off in elevators. See you at the party, Richter. Uses a hologram to defeat the goons. I love that scene because he's like, you think this is the real Quaid? It is. And guns him down. Awesome. Ultimately, Cohagen gets sent out into Mars' atmosphere, but right as the same was about to happen to Doug and Melina, he activates this reactor that instantly gives the place atmosphere, breathable air. There are people over there that became mutants because the air was bad and glass domes didn't keep the radiation out. So he's kind of like the savior to them too. And it seems like we all have a happy ending. But if you listen to the director commentary, we get this like light shining at the screen at the end, along with the kind of creepy music. Doo, 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 doo. That's supposed to be indicative of him getting a lobotomy, that it was a dream the whole time, and that he wasn't cooperating, the program had gone rogue. I think for the most part I want to talk about my interpretation of the movie. I think that it's pretty fair in saying that it goes either way. You can see it as he was acting out the dream, or what he was experiencing was reality. I think you get either way going here, because yes, he did have the dream of Melina before he goes to recall, according to the way we see it. His buddy at work gave a weird look at him. Sharon Stone, you know, just her reaction right there is very telling about him not going to recall. Those little things add up. At the same time, it is strange that Melina is on the monitor. You know, I condemn a movie like Inception for its little fakey ending with the totem that we're not sure if it's going to stop spinning or not. This one, I feel less like a cheap trick. I feel like it was more intricate, that the game was afoot from the beginning, and it wasn't a mere second away from telling us, oh, well, here's the real ending or not. So I feel less bad about Total Recall. The movie doesn't age great. It's from 1990, though Rob Bottin's creature kind of effects makeup, some of it looks good. There are parts where Arnold's head looks a little weird, particularly when he's taking the fat woman face off, and you have these hands that do not belong to Arnold lifting it up, and he's kind of got this weird plastic look to him. You know, we've actually come a long ways with the makeup appliance technology since this movie's been made, but the only effort in putting that stuff into film has been, well, okay, we're just going to do CGI. And it's a real shame that we can't coexist between practical effects and the computer effects. Now granted, the computer, they have so much more time to fine-tune it in post. I just wish that we had more big movies like this. This was the biggest movie ever made when it came out. Arnold Schwarzenegger is the only actor to star in the biggest movie ever made 3 times. Total Recall, Terminator 2, True Lies. And then the biggest movie greenlit at the time, Terminator 3. As far as greenlit budget goes. Not even Johnny Depp has done that at this point. I mean, hell, nowadays they don't brag about how much a movie costs. That's not part of the marketing spin, is it? With Total Recall, you see a lot of dated shots. There's not a lot of aesthetically pleasing cinematography, to be honest with you. I like the miniature work. I like the effects in that regard. Hell, a lot of the effects stand up pretty well, but what really dates the movie is this kind of like early 90s consumer-driven interpretation of the future. We have giant CRT monitors everywhere, like they just couldn't envision anything being flat panel in the future. Everything has a big gray surround. The movie in general is gray or red. Those are the 2 big colors going there. You know, art direction wise, I think you could actually say that like the sets look better in the newer film. Like, hell, Doug's house got a cool concrete wall look. In this movie, it's so incredibly bland. A lot of this stuff you're gonna forget. Right after I got done watching this, I resumed watching it because I've always got this on my Netflix queue. Terminator 2. 1 year later, looks 10 years newer. Terminator 2, all the shots in it age much better. I'm not just saying that, okay, so it's got the computer effects thing going for it. Hell, it's got a lot of the practical effects work going for it too. But I'm saying that you go and you look at Total Recall, it looks like it's from about 85. It looks like it's about on the budget of RoboCop, not something bigger. Still, and though people will say this is not a good Arnold movie, it's not Arnold being Arnold so much, this is a sci-fi thriller and he's not appropriate for the role. You know, he is awesomely buff for like no apparent reason. Like, hey, he just goes out and does some jackhammer work and that will make you Mr. Olympia. I mean, I'm sure that doesn't totally add up, but there's also a lot of fun to be had. His unexplained super strength comes into play and he gets a lot of glorious kills with it. Lifting up on the restraining pole and jabbing the guy in the neck. A lot of this stuff really seems inspired by RoboCop, and you really have to see this on like the R-rated, not TV version to get the full effect. There's really a lot that gets cut out there when you see it on cable. I really like Arnold in this movie. I don't know what has happened to him of late as far as acting goes, but like you see him in The Last Stand and he's so incredibly wooden compared to how jovial and responsive he was in these movies. I'm sure they probably just had the camera roll and they said, Arnold, do what Arnold would do. You got what you want, Cohagen. Give these people air. Oh yeah. Total Recall, I give it 3 out of 4 stars.